Some people believe that Maserati's last real sports car was the MC12, but its production ended back in 2005. Ever since then, the fans have been teased with the Alfieri concept, whereas the GranTurismo has been with us for almost 10 years without any substantial modifications. Obviously, Maserati needs to do something for the company's biggest fans, and there could be a solution. Artist Sergei Brunitsky has digitally created this concept, which is called Maserati Genesi. It differs from everything that the Italian luxury brand has ever produced, but the rendering artist used the design cues from the Alfieri and GranTurismo for this high-performance, stylish two-seat coupe for people with a passion for driving. We can see a lot of traditional Maserati features at the front end, including the vertical spoke grille and the headlights borrowed from the Alfieri concept. The side of the vehicle is elegant, whereas the rear end comes with an aggressive diffuser and narrow taillights. This concept pays respect to the original 2000 coupe, and it is its spiritual successor. The cabin looks upscale with minimalistic features, and diamond-quilted white leather seats and blue details are seen throughout the entire cabin. There is a beautiful central touchscreen infotainment system, while the steering wheel is race-inspired with a digital instrument cluster. According to the designer, the Genesi concept comes with plenty autonomous features, and the car can even simulate an alternative reality during autonomous mode. If Maserati ever decides to produce this vehicle, it would be entirely electric, and it would generate between 400 and 500 horsepower. However, we are thrilled to see such a fantastic design, and the Italians might just as well consider creating it. What do you think about the Genesi concept? Do you like it?
Bentley is expected to release the first all-new incarnation of the Continental GT since the 2003 original this fall, as the Grand Tour should land at the Frankfurt Motor Show in September. And with the lavish coupe now in its final testing phase, a prototype has been spotted lapping the Nürburgring. A brief check with the DVLA, the UK's driver vehicle and licensing agency, reveals that the test car is animated by the latest incarnation of the VW Group's W12 engine, which made its debut on the Bentayga. To be more precise, while the W12 you can find under the hood of the outgoing Conti has a displacement of 5,998 cc's, the fresh unit packs 5,950 cc's. Once the obvious W12 and V8 versions of the new Continental GT make their debut, Bentley will also introduce a plug-in hybrid version, which has already been confirmed. As explained by company CEO Wolfgang Durheimer, the gas-electric setup will involve a V6 and pack up to 500 horsepower. This could mean that Bentley will take the 462 horsepower powertrain of the Porsche Panamera 4e hybrid even further. The MSB platform shared with the second-generation Panamera may not have brought weight savings for the Zuffenhausen machine, but things will be different in the case of the 2018 Continental GT. Given the aging architecture of the current model, it would be enough for the new car to tip the scales at around 2 tons to talk about a hefty diet. We added a set of earlier Spuz Hots to the gallery above, with these giving us a good taste of the interior, which mixes crude traditional luxury experience with new-age touches. As for those worried about the tame soundtrack of the prototype, there's no reason to fret. The sports exhaust option of the production models will delivering the required oral delights.
Utilizing a redeveloped version of the Continental's 6.0-liter twin-turbo W12 engine, the GT Speed is capable of 642 horsepower, a 7 horsepower increase from last year's, and 620 pounds-ft of torque, 14.75 pounds-ft increase. With a breath of fresh power, the GT Speed will be able to hit a top speed of 206 mph and rocket from 0 to 60 mph in 3.9 seconds, 0.2 seconds quicker. Along with the revamped engine are a slew of new modifications that make traveling in the car more luxurious than ever before. For a more refined connection to the road, Bentley has modified the steering wheel to have a more sculpted and sporty feeling, which fits the driver's hands like never before. Additionally, Bentley has also added the option for semi-aniline hide that forms the straight flute seating. Unveiled along with the GT Speed is the new GT Speed Black Edition. This new variant for Bentley's fastest is available for both the coupe and convertible styles. What makes the Black Edition special are the high-gloss black trimmings on the exterior, carbon fiber trimming in the cabin, contrasting colors on the front splitter, side skirts and rear diffuser, and contrasting leather that matches the exterior accents. Bentley continues to push their Continental GT Speed to its limit, resulting in a luxurious car that is both lavish and capable. The Continental GT Speed is a prime example of the English automaker's ability to stay true to their heritage, all while keeping up with modern engineering.
Our friend Ajahn just spotted the upcoming 2018 Bentley Continental GT wearing barely any camouflage in Germany. Bentley's most popular model is set to be revealed in due course and will feature many exciting new features. Bentley recently held an exclusive VIP preview event in Munich, where it showed the complete vehicle to a select few customers. The new Continental GT will be built on the MSB platform, which is shared with VW Group colleague Porsche. The chassis of all new Continentals will therefore be built in Porsche's Leipzig plant. The same platform is used for the latest Porsche Panamera. It is much lighter than Bentley's previous platform and has a more favorable weight distribution. What's more exciting is that the new Continental GT will feature many design cues from the well-received EXP 10-Speed 6 concept car. It gets larger headlights at the front, carefully shaped taillights at the rear, but will maintain the large oval exhaust tips that have become so characteristic for Bentley over the years. We expect the 2018 Bentley Continental GT to be offered with the mighty W12 from the Bentayga, as well as an updated 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 which also powers the Panamera Turbo, and possibly a V6 plug-in hybrid powertrain.
One-third of drivers involved with ride-sharing services such as Uber, Ingogo, GoCatch, and RideBoom, are yet to register for GST or to fully declare their income. Assistant Commissioner Tom Wheeler said more than 100,000 individuals have received a payment for a ride-sharing service since the Australian Taxation Office started collecting data in August 2015, but about one-third of them still have not registered for GST and/or fully declared income. The ATO has written to 60,000 drivers looking to make extra cash by transporting passengers on popular ride-sharing services, reminding them of their obligations. Uber and other ride-sharing drivers must be registered for GST following an ATO ruling that took effect in August 2015. Before that, they had been able to avoid GST payments by arguing they fall under the $75,000 turnover threshold at which GST applies. Uber legally challenged the ruling, saying they were not like a taxi service, but in a landmark decision in February the federal court agreed with the ATO that Uber drivers were like a taxi and thereby have to register for and pay GST even if they fall under the threshold. Mr. Wheeler said the ATO had written to 60,000 drivers since August 2015, and would continue to write to other drivers who come onto their radar. We are seeing numbers of drivers growing, but there's quite a significant churn rate, he said. Our monitoring tells us that only half of these 60,000 drivers received a payment for driving in the recent January to March 2017 quarter. A large number of those drivers were registered for GST and meeting their obligations, but some drivers were yet to register. The ATO has more work to do in educating drivers about their tax obligations and making sure they comply, Mr. Wheeler said. The ATO collects more than 650 million pieces of data each year and has recently started receiving information directly from ride-sourcing facilitators, financial institutions and individuals using ride-sharing apps providing credit card details to companies like Uber. This also means that if you misreport your income, red flags will be raised in our systems and we'll start asking questions, Mr. Wheeler said. Since the sharing economy was a new part of the economy, he said the ATO would give people extra time to get their tax affairs in order. But if ride-sharing drivers were still not registered towards year's end, and/or hiding income, the ATO may need to take compliance action including reviews and audits. If you're providing ride-sourcing services and do not have an Australian business number and GST registration, you should make this your first priority, he said. By reporting your ride-sourcing income and GST you can also claim tax deductions and GST credits in respect of your business expenses, such as your car, fuel, servicing and your smartphone and data usage. At tax time often claims made for work-related expenses were for items that were for both business and private use. Mr. Wheeler reminded taxpayers that you can only claim the part that relates to your business use. Employers letting their staff use ride-sharing services, rather than a licensed taxi, could be liable for fringe benefits tax, FBT. Uber, which has long argued it is not a taxi service, told Fairfax Media that it now hopes the ATO will treat it like a taxi for FBT purposes.